Good morning. It is August 15th.
It is morning.
I mean, it is morning, but it's also August 15th. That's halfway through August.
Wild.
There it is. It's just like 31, but it's close.
Coffee!
Stop it. I know. It's just... I feel like we just kind of got here.
How many weeks till Extra Life? 8?
Oh, don't hurt Chaz.
9 or 10?
Don't hurt Chaz. Chaz is just minding his own business. I mean, I will, of course, use that as an opportunity to say that...
Extra Life is October 28th.
Sure. We can start briefly mentioning it on breakfast streams.
Come here, kitty.
Extra Life is October 28th. The page is open for donations. Please include the title of a GameCube Wii or Wii U game released in North America.
Hello,
Like 2 weeks away. It's a little more than 2 weeks, but I'm sure that we will blink and suddenly be like, it's 2 weeks away, and then we'll all collectively scream.
Sweet boy. I cannot get my coffee.
Would you like your coffee?
I would like my coffee.
With your foam.
Thank you.
There's
it has
foam.
foam.
It is at least 7 minutes away. Let's read a few alerts this morning. We're in the middle of a level 2 train. We got 10 months from Barbarian Rex. Denise gifted a sub to Mr. Raichu Dude. 21 months from Nintendo Nitwit. 31 from The Relude. 44 from KRC David. 35 from Desi Desitel. We got 24 from VDrummer 514. Congrats on the 2. Thank you. 22 months from El Simi. It's a subby. 50 months at tier 3 from Tricky Anthea says, along with 50 months, I do believe this marks a year since I started summing at tier 3. I've enjoyed supporting you guys along the way and look forward to another year. Speaking of Extra Life, though, maybe I'll start a weekly donation. Go Pandora's Tower. First off, thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Both at tier 3 and then also at 50 months. It's a lot. Doing weekly donations for Extra Life can be fun. Because as we get closer, we will start
showing the totals.
We're going to start showing the totals on stream. We usually do that about 4 to 6 weeks out. So as people start doing donations, we will start showing it on breakfast stream and then start getting excited about what we are potentially
going to be playing first.
Going to be playing. And I think that's one of the most fun parts is like the build up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're looking at like the totals and stuff and you don't know what you're going to play. No idea.
The flavor is in the leisure. Tiny Eddie's chunky confused nibbles.
Those are some chunky nibbles.
1050 from Anise who says, Eddie, I got a raise. What is your most expensive snack? Well, congrats on the raise. Tiny Eddie's most expensive snack is, of course, the chunky confused nibbles. They are particularly chunky.
And being nibbles, that's confusing.
Yeah, a lot of people maybe didn't hear nibbles. Time to wake up. Time to become alert. You too will be confused when you see how chunky these nibbles are. I also really like the flavors in the leisure. The more relaxed you are, the better they taste.
Kepi thinks so.
We had 59 months from Skit Scott, 13 from RPG Gary, 58 from Air-3K, 11 from Nervous Jellyfish, We have 300 bits from Dinks12 Fox. No message, but appreciated. Thanks. 20 months from Kayadar. 55 from Armored Frog. 39 from Akira Dre. 58 from Brandon. We get a subscription from Angelite95. Welcome. And 15 months from Mega Septile 5. And let's have another Eddie.
Their mascot is a road tree. Tiny Eddie's hamburger wrapped owl popsicles.
Armored Frog says, crap, hit enter too soon. Those bits from Armored Frog says, it's my birthday today. Tiny Eddie, what perfectly epic. And then it cuts off.
Happy birthday.
First off, happy birthday. Your epic snack. I know there's more to this message, but we got epic. So your epic snack, hamburger wrapped owl popsicles. Oh, that's not good. I do not want a hamburger wrapped around my popsicle. As a general rule.
Owl popsicle.
Yeah, I'm not even. That's an entire other thing. Like, first off, owl popsicle is a lot, so I'm just ignoring the owl for now, because even just a normal popsicle, like if you had one of those like fruity, like strawberry cylinders,
Push pop?
the one with the stick in it, so it's like a strawberry fruit pop. Like if you took that and you put like a McDonald's double cheeseburger on it, that's just...
Yeah, but it doesn't say anywhere that it's fruity.
That's the problem? That's the problem? You're like, well, I would eat a hamburger on a popsicle if it was like chocolatey. I mean, I guess it's an owl, so I guess it's gamey.
Jess, would you eat it if a tree ran up to you and demanded you to?
Mr. Tree. Happy birthday, Armored Frog. Happy birthday. Speaking of birthdays.
Yes.
Very recently, it was Brandon's birthday, as noted by the fact that Brandon had like several birthdays. Real Thomas energy to have several birthdays, and the final piece of that, the journey to the Golden Corral, is finished and scheduled for today at 10:15 a.m. When is birthday 3? Next year.
Is Brandon the oldest in the group now? He sure acts like it.
So, yeah. Oh, also happy birthday to Dishnet and Hugplex. So many birthdays. I love all the birthdays. Yeah, y'all can see the Golden Corral vlog in like an hour. Got that done, and I'm happy it's done, because it was an astounding amount of footage. There was a lot. It's a long one.
Brandon says the birthday to drive me out of town. Is that why you're not coming back? Is that why you extended your trip?
Omar Frog says we all get older collectively here on Steven. We do. We do get older. Some folks, I mean Armored Frog actually specifically, have been here forever.
Yeah.
And forever, as it turns out, is turning into a longer and longer amount of time. Haley says, "Oh, I don't get older. Y'all can do that. I don't do that. I don't know. But getting older's fun. I've enjoyed it.
You are just turning into pudding. You're not holding any shape.
Cats are liquid. Sometimes cats are pudding. Is 10 plus years forever now? It's certainly a sizable percentage of forever. Like, if something's been happening for 10 years, you're like, I still, like, I understand that, like, logically, like, intellectually, some of the game consoles that I grew up with are retro, but it's always a jarring thing when I hear it, and I'm like, but time has passed. So that happens when people are like, you know, the retro console GameCube or the retro console Wii. I'm like, what? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. The PlayStation 3 is a really great example because like PlayStation 3, that's a retro console. Came out in 2006. Everyone's like, but 2006 was like a few years ago. And I'm like, you mean 17 years ago. 17.
This is coffee. You don't like it.
Oh yeah, Haley had told that story before. My stepniece showing me her retro 3DS system made me curl up and die. Yeah. See, that's how you know that we have a sizable portion of audience here who is at least a little bit older. At least like, you know, my age or getting close. So when you talk about some of these things, you feel it because you're like, oh, hey, wait a minute. That's not right. What are you doing? What are you doing? Brandon says, I'm glad we accept it now. We spent the early days of Breakfast Stream screaming, no, Deb style, when the Wii was first proposed as retro. I mean, we've had to go through the 5 stages of grief, and we are at acceptance. It's fine.
Yeah.
I agree with Haley, though. Haley says the Wii feels retro now, though, with the controller gimmick. It does. I agree with that.
And all the peripherals and
yeah,
nunchucks.
I think the Wii feels more retro. Like, in my head, the Wii feels more retro than the PlayStation 3.
Yes.
Even though they came out at the same time. It feels similar. Why? I don't know. Anyway. We had 33 months of Bear Night. 300 Bits Maldo says, you know what my favorite retro game is? Skyrim. Skyrim will turn 12 in November. Skyrim is going to be 12 years old and has been released 12,000 times. Skyrim is a game that you can play on a handheld. You can play it on your Switch. You can play it on your refrigerator.
Could you set this down? Thank you.
Like, there is a very real possibility. I feel like it's a very real possibility that Skyrim will be released again. And like, not like in like 10 years when they're like, let's re-release. Yeah. I think like that it'll get another release. I don't think it's impossible. Skyrim 2. I mean, I can't wait for Skyrim now on Vision Pro. That, I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, that's also not completely unreasonable. How old is Smash Brothers Brawl?
Ow! Ow! You can't dig your legs, your claws into my leg and pull yourself up. That hurts.
Oh, he can, though. Brawl came out when we were in college.
Yes.
It was 2008?
Yes.
It was 2008. Which was a while ago. 15 years. 15, is that math? 15 years. Yeah.
Yes, that is the math.
Yeah. I was 19 when Brawl came out. 2008 was 5 years ago. It's true.
Haley, we were roommates in 2008 in fall.
Yeah. One of the interesting things when I think back through my childhood, I don't know if if other people felt this way, other people that are like really into video games. But as a kid, growing up reading like Nintendo Power and being very excited for a new game, it really kind of like shaped my entire perception of time. My entire perception of time always revolved around a release for a game. And I would think, oh, I gotta make it until November. Oh, I gotta hold on. I gotta get to November so I can play whatever this is. You know, Mario Sunshine or Wind Waker, or I don't know why I'm naming GameCube games specifically, but I remember feeling very strongly about it in the GameCube era, so maybe that's it. But like that was just, or the release of the GameCube even, you know, so like I remember that very vividly. And it's very different now. Like now as an adult, I'm still excited about video games, but it's like a thing that's just happening on the sideline.
Yeah.
It's like I have a life and there's like a lot of things to do in my life. And then every once in a while I glance over and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a game. That's cool. It's going to come out. Whereas when I was younger, my entire life was like, how many days until this comes out? And I think the last big title that I was like that excited about
GTA 5
was probably GTA 5, which is a lot later in life than you would have expected me to still be like.
You were very excited.
I was very excited about that. And then before that was probably Skyrim. Both of those. How many days until Starfield, though? I mean, who could say that it's 16? That is true. Haley says, you have to plan your work around release dates still. Yes, we had a meeting yesterday with Chaz, and like that was part of the discussion is that, you know, when does Starfield come out? Because I'm going to be playing Starfield, so like, let's figure that out because we need to look at the calendar.
Brandon from downtown, now it's cameras.
I do like cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I've talked about it too much. I've just posted like very vague, threatening images on the website formerly known as Twitter, and included just like the word Starfield. But I am going to be playing Starfield. I think that causes some people excitement and some people extreme concern. So I would just say, try not to be concerned. Try not to be concerned. Just remember that I like the Bethesda RPGs. They're fun. They make me happy. They bring me joy. I enjoy playing them. So just keep that in mind. Be like, Stephen will have a fun. He will enjoy himself. And it's true. I will. I'll also be streaming it, which which will inherently change my relationship with the video game to, honestly, a much more positive one. And most important aspect is Chaz says, there's a Chaz now. There wasn't a Chaz in Fallout time. It's true. It's true. I think Chaz will keep me straight. Oh, I could probably word that better. Chaz will keep me on the straight and narrow. Is a better way. Haley says, the Dark Ages. Chaz will keep your feet firmly planted on Earth. Y'all know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the video game. I am, and it's something that I have to start thinking about because it comes out in 2 weeks, and that's just
Tippy, are you
wild.
excited for Starfield?
Skid Scott says, and you said you will not 100% it right. I didn't say that. I just how do I put this? Here's my thought. I just want to play a video game. You know, where the spirit leads, the spirit leads. But I just want to play a video game. And Chaz is trying to make a new slogan for the company. At Stephen Corp, we don't make promises about the future anymore. And that's fair. That's fair. Where the spirit leads one way and Chaz tugs in another. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens. I just want to play it. Just want to play it, see what it's like. Maybe it'll be bad. You start playing and be like, you know, half of the dialogue isn't fully recorded. So, like, in the middle of the thing. Did you ever see the clips of Oblivion where, like, they didn't trim the audio clip correctly? So
I don't know. I don't think so.
You're talking to an NPC and they're like, this is the I'm sorry, I'm going to redo that line real quick. This is the like, that's in the game and it's shipped that way, and it's great. It's perfect. I love that. Like, what if that was the whole game?
You know, my only experience with Oblivion was, like, doing the beginning area, leaving it, and being killed by wolves that didn't spawn.
I remember that.
And then being like, I'm done.
I remember that.
I'm done.
Yeah. Honestly, Oblivion is a good game. It's a good game. I've played through Oblivion. Oblivion is very good, but there are some weird things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mal left the sewers and is getting attacked by wolves. You can hear them. Mal's taking the damage. The wolf models did not load. So there's just invisible wolves. I was like, arr, arr. And Mal's like, are there supposed to be invisible wolves? And I was like, no. The first time I played Oblivion, I was on my way to whatever the main city is, the center city. And there's a big bridge that connects the land to the city. And the bridge, the Imperial City, the bridge didn't load. But there was a Oblivion guard whose pathing AI took him over the bridge. And I sat from afar and watched as this Oblivion guard on horseback proudly rode into a canyon. Killed him and the horse just immediately, and I had some really good armor. Because I went and stripped that guy of all of his stuff. Oh, it was great. It was great. What a good video game. Great video game. We were just talking about it recently, too, because, like, when we played Oberdin, Oberdin made largely by one person, and yet has an incredible amount of diversity in the voice acting.
Yes.
And then Oblivion, which is a AAA game that made millions, hundreds of millions, I don't know how much money it made a lot of money, has, like, 3 voice actors. So
I think like only 1 or 2 people share voice actors in Oberdin.
Mm-hmm. It's just interesting. Morning, Chelsea.
Morning, Chelsea.
Oblivion only needed 2 voice actors.
Did we stream it? We did not stream Oberdin.
Yeah, we did not. We did
There's
not.
There's a lot of cat hair right here.
Well, I prefer it on my lap and not my mouth. Yeah, we didn't stream it, but it's a good game.
Very good game.
Yeah, my worry had been about streaming it was just that it may be a little uninteresting because there is a lot of taking time to
figure things out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, it seems like it would be possibly a slow stream. It was fun to just like play a video game just like for leisure. That also was fun. But we actually did end up going through it like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, it probably could have been streamed, but it's too late now. There's the one thing about Oberdin is that there's like no replay value. You can't play it again. Like you have to wait long enough until your brain forgets everything.
I have enjoyed
So for me, like 2 years.
I got Noah to play it.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying Noah being like, oh my god, this. As Noah discovered things. That was great.
It's just very fun
Yeah.
to see other people experience video games that you've played. That's fun. That's one of the reasons why we've been enjoying watching Josh play Earthbound.
Yeah. I've been enjoying that immensely.
I have too. He's getting better.
Yeah.
And that's been a good time.
There's been growth
There has been growth. And
in his RPG skills.
And that's tonight also.
Yeah.
'Cause he does that on Tuesdays, so we'll be watching that. He's doing pretty good. He just finished fighting Master Belch. He hasn't went to the third sanctuary location yet, so he's in that little middle spot where he's just chilling in Saturn Valley. So he is not close to the end at all. Earthbound is a very long game.
There's a lot of places to go.
It's one of those things that, like, when in the most recent times that we've played Earthbound, like, we're kind of zooming.
Yeah.
Even, like, for the charity, it's been a few years now, but when we were doing Earthbound for Extra Life a million years ago, I mean, we weren't going particularly fast, but
No,
we were
weren't.
going way faster than, like, a first-time player.
Yeah.
Because a first-time player is going to sit and talk to everybody, which is the best way to experience the game. But it does remind you that, like,
there's things that Josh has, like, discovered or people he's talked to that I'm like, I didn't remember that line was in the game. That's funny.
yeah. So there's a lot. There's a lot.
You are really loud, Kepler.
He's snoring. We had 42 months from Back in Red and 56 months from I Spy a Moose. Thank you both.
Chelsea says, oh, I just noticed him. Yeah, he's right here. He's snoring.
We take on a little snooze.
Little snooze. He kept us up. He was a jerk last night.
I got in bed and I had just given him food, and there's a period of time between where the food hits his stomach
Yeah.
versus the food
Entering his stomach.
well, I was gonna say, like, send signals to the brain that
Yeah.
like he good. And I hate that.
He had a full belly, but he didn't know he had a full belly.
Yeah. And that's the worst part, is where you fed the cat and the cat immediately is doing bad things because the cat's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, you gotta give it a little time. Just a little time. I promise your brain will catch up shortly. Oh,
He has one brain cell. It took a bit.
Chelsea had the 1 a.m. cat anus. Sorry about that. That doesn't ever happen with Kep.
Kepler doesn't, like...
He doesn't sit on faces.
No, and he doesn't really go up by our pillows.
Not yours.
Yeah.
Kep touches my face almost every morning. I'm so glad that he tends to be pretty gentle.
Tends to.
Tends to. Not all the time. Sometimes he's just like, claw? Never like as an attack. Like, he's always like very like cautious as he touches. It's just sometimes he doesn't know
He doesn't know.
if the claws are sheathed.
The one brain cell isn't there.
Yeah. But he
just reach out and touch.
he does tend to touch my
And
face every
sometimes
morning.
with claw.
Sometimes.
Hi, you're kicking me. Please don't kick.
He's a sweet boy.
He's very sweet.
He's a sweet boy.
I mean, look at this.
We had a bit of a rough time in bed for like 10 minutes where he was like chewing on stuff, and I have the clicker and I'm clicking him, and then he chews and I click, and he chews and I click, and then he's chewing for a while, so I'm holding the clicker, and then as suddenly as it all started, it stops. And then he just chills out.
PBT logo.
So, yeah. Thanks, Haley. Then he was good.
Yeah.
And then I was unaware of his presence until
The alarm went off.
the alarm went off. It turned out okay. It's fine. Anyway, hopefully he'll be good today as we proceed into the activities and festivities of today. Today is Tuesday, so I just want to do a reminder somewhat early in the stream for later on that Pikmin 4 is today. So be sure to join us today at 1 p.m. Eastern as we continue on in Pikmin 4. I don't remember whose turn it is, but we will find out at 1 p.m.
I believe it's mine.
Probably. I know on Friday you're owed the first full episode.
Yes.
Because I played one full one last time. But I think you start Pikmin today. We're getting somewhere. We're still... Wait, 2 full episodes?
I was supposed to do a full one to start the whole thing on last Friday.
You were?
Uh-huh. That's what chat said. I don't remember.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think that we care as much as chat does, but I didn't know that. Oops. Yeah, Mal just plays all of Friday. Wow, Stephen, let Mal play? What? Well, I mean, if it was over the transition from 2 weeks ago to last week, it probably really doesn't matter because it was in that would have been in like Hot No Village, right? So like
Where we just talk to people.
where like all you do is talk to people. So I'm like, I don't know that matters.
Doesn't matter.
But you could play one full one on
Friday?
Friday. Mm-hmm. Do a Dandori battle and decide who gets to play.
I think I'm going to win that line back.
I mean...
Noah.
When we finish Pikmin 4. Is
Yeah.
Pikmin 4 have... Yeah, okay.
There's like a versus mode.
Yeah,
to do Dandori battles.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, when we finish like the story mode of Pikmin 4, like absolutely I want to play against you. Mao has had so much more experience in Pikmin games than me.
Yeah.
But I do better under pressure. So we will see.
But I'm better at Pikmin.
I did just say that.
I know, I'm repeating it.
We'll see.
Sapphire Becca says, Steven gets Starfield. Mal can play her own game. I've already made plans for that. Can I say what I finished the other day? Or is that a secret?
You should wait.
Okay.
We are months out from that.
Yeah.
We're months out from that. But Mao, patrons know.
Yeah.
Patrons know. Or at least now that I've said that, they'll be like, oh, that. Yeah, Mao actually is making her own guide for a game because there is not a very thorough guide on the internet.
Yeah.
Which may paint the game as a little obscure, which I guess it is. But Mao is taking a few things from a few different guides and then also playing through the game to try and
Double check mine.
double check the thing that she's making. She has to make her own. Yeah. Anyway, Mao is excited to tell you about that.
I am.
So but we're a ways out from that, so we'll just
What?
just wait to talk about the
Sweetie.
specifics. But I know you're excited.
I'm very excited.
Chula Part 2! We threw to bed some shit off that says, I have a question. If Josh's Earthbound streams are on Tuesday and Steven loves watching those, does that mean Steven won't be on disc only until Josh is done with the game? No. On disc only weeks, where Josh is able, which he usually is pretty flexible, I will have him move his Earthbound stream to Wednesday. The reason I wasn't on disc only, what was it, last week?
Yes.
Was because there was no time for me to do disc only. There were way too many things happening in the week. Because generally I can shift some stuff around, and like last week I could not shift things around. It's true that I did put priority on watching Josh play Earthbound, But that combined with our anniversary, combined with we already had made plans for Golden Corral, and we had already made plans for Barbie. Like, we had all these things.
Yeah.
We had a very packed week last week. And there was literally nowhere where Disco only could have fit. So,
Plus we
you
had,
could have moved Golden Corral to never. Nah, we couldn't have done that.
Plus we had Rebecca in town.
And we had, Rebecca was in town. So, like, it was a packed week. And I was like, let's not worry about this. Because it won't always be like that. It was a particularly busy week.
It was.
So,
She did not go to Golden Corral.
she was supposed to.
She was supposed to. I'm glad they didn't make it.
I'm so sad they didn't make it.
I'm not.
The dichotomy of man. Josh
Dodged a bullet. Yep, Renee.
Josh and Rebecca, and Andrew, who is Laughing Boy LP, all of them were supposed to be back from the charity event before we went to Golden Corral and join us. And they got caught up in a storm while driving, and they got back late, so they couldn't join us. And Josh was like, I think it's probably good that we can't come because it's probably bad. And I was like, but don't you want to suffer together?
Brandon says we actually moved Golden Corral Day for it. We did. We were trying to get them there.
Yeah, we did. That's right. It's fine. I did avoid all digestive stuff.
Lucky.
I didn't have any issues like the 2 days following Golden Corral. I'm back to
What
having
did I eat that you didn't?
I have no idea. I'm back to having like normal issues. Because like yesterday was a bad day for me. And like, what did I eat? I don't know. I've been tracking it again. I don't know if I've talked about that. I got a different app because the app that I'd been using like 2 years ago during the pandemic, like I didn't really like it. Like, it was a bad app. So I got a different one, and I've been keeping track of all of my food to try and learn something, because I want to learn something if I can. So we will see. It basically teaches you correlation, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
There's not enough data yet.
Not yet.
But hopefully in a few more months. The app that I'm using, I think it's just called My Symptoms. It's an iOS app, and it's called My Symptoms. And I had been using a different one called like Cara Care or something, and like that app was free, but every time you loaded it up, they're like, what if you paid $90 a month? What if you did that? Would you like that? If you paid $90 a month, we would have like a person
Look at your stuff.
look at your stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do that, actually. I just want like to track my stuff. And they're like, okay, that's fine. So that was annoying. And then also like the actual tracking stuff was not super good. It's not like super great.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to find a paid app. I need to find an app where I can like buy it and it's good and I pay for it once. And that's what the My Symptoms was. I think it was like $8. And I was like, I will very gladly pay $8 to have an app that is like worlds better and doesn't bug me to pay $90 a month, which is, I would assume, an insane amount of money. I guess like if you're super, super serious about learning about diet and allergens and stuff like that, and you wanted to be connected to like a one-on-one person, I guess that's not a terribly unreasonable thing if you were just doing it for a few months, but like, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to be able to be like, I pooped today, it was bad. I ate a corn. Oh my god, it's the corn! So $8 seems a lot better.
The place I went yesterday for my blood draw does an allergy test for blood draw. They also like food sensitivities.
Neat.
Yeah,
I could do that.
you could.
I could
Our
learn.
general care might be able to do that too.
Yeah.
We should ask next time.
Anyway, we had 56 months from the Great Ass Fairy. 300 bits from Kit Khalid says, good morning all. Been playing an indie game that seems up Mal's alley. It's called Invento. It's a chill puzzle game where you arrange bento boxes. Between levels is a story in slides of a cat raising her kitten. This sounds incredibly upbeat. She's writing it down right now.
I can spell.
Well, there you go.
Oh, it's cute.
There are so many video games. Like, there's so many. There was a time where you could mention a video game and someone that was like up in the video game world would be like, oh yeah, I know what that is. And now it's very likely that they'll be like, never heard of that. Like, I, at least for a while, was like kind of up on it because I was like doing first 20s every week for like 10 years or whatever. And I was like at least mostly up on even the indie scene. And then you leave that for just like a few months and you're like, I have no idea what's coming out. It's fine. I'm not too worried about it. We had 30 months from Larry C24. And Skit Scott gifting 2 subs to DNOM98 and Quark Key. Skit Scott, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, making games is just largely more accessible than it ever was, which is great. That's a good thing. But it does mean intrinsically that there will be more games.
Yeah.
So.
Many games.
There's a lot of...
So many games behind us.
Did I tell everyone that we found a GameCube game we didn't own? Did I talk about that?
No, you didn't. So, we wanted to make sure that Rebecca got to go to a limited run. And Steven came up to me because I was talking to the person working. And he goes, Mel, this is going to sound insane. He's like, they have a GameCube game we don't have. And I was like, that's literally impossible. And he's like, it's not.
The person at the register is like, you have a full GameCube set? And I was like, yeah. And N64 and Wii and Wii U. And he was like, it's a lot of games. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, it's a lot of games. I was like, it's too many games. So
it's right there.
It is right there. Now, in fairness,
I detailed this exchange to John, and John thought it was funny.
Now, in fairness, this is a video game that I do technically own. I just don't own it in this specific way. It's the cardboard sleeve version of Pac-Man Versus. Pac-Man Versus came with Pac-Man World 2 on the GameCube. Is that in the front?
It's yellow, isn't it? No, it's in the back.
No, it is.
No, it is. Cool.
So Pac-Man... This is how I know Pac-Man Versus. Pac-Man Versus came with Pac-Man World 2. This was only released as a player's choice version. This does not exist as a black label. And I was like, oh, well, this is just how you get Pac-Man Versus. Turns out, incorrect. There is a black label version of Pac-Man Versus. It came in a cardboard sleeve.
Turn this, like, sideways. Like, that's it.
Yeah. It's a little thing. Yeah, I also did not know it came out as a standalone. I actually I didn't spend a lot of time researching this, but I couldn't find, from a limited research, I couldn't find like what this is, like where this came from, what's the story behind the cardboard sleeve version. And like, I don't know. It has a UPC. I don't know if it was like sold. I don't know. But when I saw this,
is this a 2?
Yeah, this is a double disc thing. It's not that Pac-Man Versus is on the disc. It's literally the disc for Pac-Man Versus. And it doesn't.
Chelsea says it came from a Happy Meal.
What? Are you sure?
Oh, that was a joke.
Oh, okay. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I looked at the back because I was like, there would be like a McDonald's logo. So I actually don't know the specifics of this. I actually do not know. And if I spend
It's in good shape.
yeah, it's basically perfect. If I spent more than like 5 minutes looking into it, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
But I Googled it just on a whim to like try and figure it out, and there was not like quick, clear information about it. And I was like, that's weird. Okay.
Interesting.
Now there is technically, it'll never be. There's no reason to. I literally have the game right here, so I don't have any reason to open this. There is technically a GameCube game that we are missing, like that has its own unique box, and that is the Wind Waker Metroid Prime combo pack. That is something that I do not own. I have every other GameCube game. We're getting close to finishing our Player's Choice collection of GameCube games, but I don't have that game. And the other problem is that I can't buy it. Like, I can't bring myself to buy it because I've seen it in stores and I have no way to verify its authenticity. And that creates a problem. So for those who are not aware, there's a game that was released later on into the GameCube's life cycle as a pack-in for the GameCube system. So you bought the system and it came with this game. And the cover art looks something like this. Chaz, someone may be able to find the Wind Waker Metroid Prime combo cover art and put it on screen. It looks like this, but it's got half of the label is Wind Waker, half of the label is Metroid Prime. And it came in with the GameCube. That was the only way to get it. And inside is a double disc set, and one disc is Wind Waker and one disc is Metroid Prime, and it contains 2 different manuals. One's Metroid Prime and one's Wind Waker. And the only thing that is unique...
There it is.
There it is. So this is a game that is real. It came with GameCubes in whatever year. Yeah, also very fitting that we got Wind Waker.
Get all of those pieces and put it together.
That's the problem. It's way too easy to fake.
That's why the authenticity is hard to verify.
That game is hundreds of dollars. To get that combo pack is hundreds of dollars. And the problem is, the only thing you have to do is just print that cover. Mm-hmm. You print that cover and you did it. You can just take pieces of a Metroid Prime and pieces of a Wind Waker, take the manuals and the games and put them in a box and print that cover, and then ta-da! Was it both full games? Both full games. So I have seen this game in person before, and I've never bought it because I'm like, I can't. It's too easy to fake. Mm-hmm. So
to spend that much on something you don't.
Yeah. What's funny is that when I saw it, it was probably like $250, $300, and now. Like, Wind Waker is expensive on its own now because the world doesn't make any sense. So now, like, those numbers actually probably seem more reasonable. But it's not worth spending that much money and not knowing that you got something real. The only way that I would get it is if I knew someone personally who was selling a childhood copy. And they're like, I had this in my GameCube and this was the thing. And I would probably buy it then because then I knew personally that it was real. But otherwise, I don't think I'll ever buy it. And that's unfortunate, but whatever. I have the games, just don't have the combo pack. Anyway. Whatever, it's fine. That is the only... thing. Yeah. Genesis said, if Roland had authenticated it, would you? Sure, but I don't know that he could reasonably do that. I feel like it would be difficult. Maybe not impossible. Maybe.
I don't know.
But I would be less nervous about buying it from Roland. But I would. I, as a general rule, the times that I've seen it, I think I've seen it twice. I've been like, well, that's neat.
Cool.
That's cool. Well, bye. can't deal with this. We had 33 months from Lane144. Appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that's a good point. Jessica says, I guess alternatively if you found a sealed GameCube with it, but that would be too much. Yeah, that's an insane amount of money. Because, like, the thing is, like, it's neat, but also I don't personally feel like my collection is, like, incomplete. Yeah. I know that there would be some people, like, that bothered them, like, I'm missing a game. I'm not bothered by it.
Because you have both games.
I have both games.
You just don't have them again together.
I don't have them holding hands. Why won't Wind Waker and Metroid Prime hold hands? Yeah, it's neat, but because trying to get a hold of one is impossible with verifying its authenticity, I just don't care. Now kiss! Yeah, when will we get the Jennifer and Kyle version of those games? It's true. Anyway, I was excited to see that because, like, I go in game stores and stuff all the time, and I've never seen that Pac-Man game, and that was wild. That was very fun. That was very, very fun. I was really excited to see that. But then also, there's still things that, like, I'm sure that I don't know about, You go into a game store and you still see things that, like, oh, that's a thing. Or things that you thought you'd never see. We were in a game store in Charlotte once. If we want to get into, like, real niche stuff that, like, we do not own, that no one needs, but would technically count towards complete. There was a few games in both the GameCube and the Wii era that they had double packs of. So it's like 2 video games, normal video games. Nothing's unique about the games themselves, the cases, the art, or like anything. But they came together in like a cardboard sleeve. Those cardboard sleeves are worth insane amounts of money. I saw one in Charlotte. There was a double pack of some Sonic games that released. I don't remember which ones they were. Probably like Adventure 1 and 2 or whatever. I don't know. And like the cardboard sleeve with the games, and this was years ago. This was before the pandemic. This was before video games skyrocketed. Was $1,000. They had it in the case for $9.99, and I was like, that's something.
Yep.
But in fairness to them, I had never seen it before. Yep. I had never seen that before, and I'm like, someone who has either
really wanted it,
or has, like a lot of income that they don't need to put on anything else, I guess will come in and get it. But that's, like, I don't need to collect double packs. I'm good. I'll pass on that. Because one of my things is that, like, I want to be able to, a lot of money for a cat chewable. Woo, ain't that the truth? I want to be able to play video games. Like, video games have value to me because, like, they contain an entire story on them, So, like, spending that much money for games that you can get independently much cheaper is, like, it's a lot.
And this, look at this. This would chew cardboard.
He said, I would chew that $1,000 piece of cardboard right up. Chomp, 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 chomp.
Hi. Yeah.
If you leave cardboard out, I'm going to eat it.
What?
I'm going to do it.
You're a good boy. You chew cardboard. You just like the sound.
Is that what it is?
The feel on his teeth. I bet that's what he likes.
Yeah, he probably likes it rubbing up against his gums or something. I don't know. He got a bit of the pica. Anyway, we had 57 months from Jizak. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. I guess I should put that on the shelf at some point.
Yeah. Well, it's in your pile of games to log.
Oh, I logged it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I logged
so they're in your
those.
pile of games to put away.
Yeah, I had also had a stack of games from Roland I hadn't logged, and I just logged all of those too. Mm-hmm. There had been stuff that got put on the shelf and then, like, out of sight, out of mind. And then I just dealt with it like yesterday. It's better now.
It's better.
Yeah. Should this go here?
I don't know. Sometimes we put that sort of thing at the end of a library, and sometimes we don't.
I'm just gonna sit it
On top?
down here.
Okay.
On top. Well, yeah. I'm gonna sit it down here on top of Super Monkey Ball 2. Sure. That's fine. Whether you use for logging, just Google Sheets, just Google Sheets. Yeah. There's other like websites and stuff, but I want. A lot of times it's too many features. Like I know some people use like backloggery, and it's like too many features. I don't want all those features. I just want to know if I have it. That's it. Like I just want like a simple like this is the game. You did it. That's it. I don't need any other additional things. And then the other advantage of having
a spreadsheet.
Yeah, like I'm on them says a website shut down, gotta relog every GameCube game. The other advantage of doing something on Google servers is that, for one, Google probably is not going anywhere, and then also those servers load up like super fast, which is helpful if you're in like, I don't know, a flea market in the middle of nowhere and you have very limited service and you just need to load the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And that's going to load. You don't need very much data to do that. And that's very, very helpful. So, and you could probably do that you could probably like download that to your device and then edit it and then resync it with the cloud later when you have internet. I don't know.
Miss you, Haley.
Bye, Haley. See you tonight. We got 9 months from Squiddle. Little Squiddle. Yeah, I don't suspect Google's going anywhere. There's been times in the past where there has been no internet where we've been looking at stuff. Most notably, flea markets in the middle of nowhere. But it's also been a while since we've been to flea markets. Oh, Haley. Oh, wow. Thanks. It's very kind. Have a good day. It's nice. It's very nice. Bold of you to assume Yahoo won't buy out Google. I'm sure there's flea markets here. We haven't done a lot of flea
There's
market
one by the
shopping.
fairgrounds.
Oh!
Yeah.
I just was there.
I know you were.
That's the other thing that happened this week. I've completely glossed over that because I was focused on Brandon having Golden Corral. This weekend, now she's leaving, so she won't even be able to talk about it. Me and Haley went to a reptile convention.
It's a trade show.
It was, they call it a convention.
Yeah.
But it's a trade show. It was an interesting thing to do that we would have never
Why are you talking about lizards now?
Was Brandon there? Don't you have a meeting to go to? Haley says, I had such a good outfit and we had backstories. Haley dressed... What was the description she used? It was like someone who looked like they had stepped out of Jurassic Park or something. It was a good outfit. We went to this reptile convention, which happened at the fairgrounds, and it's basically just like people are selling.
They're breeders.
So they're selling like snakes and iguanas and things like that.
I told you to bring me back an axolotl.
Did you know that we considered it?
Really?
Not like a real one, but they had a plush one, and we thought that it would be funny to bring that back, but then I was like, but then, there's another plush in the house, which means Kep's gonna eat it. But I did consider it. There were definitely several thousand snakes in that vlog. There's a lot. There will have to be a warning because I know some people are not into reptiles.
There were spiders
I
and
think-
tarantulas too, right?
Yeah, and there's tarantulas and stuff. So like it'll probably be pretty obvious because I think the vlog's going to be titled like Reptile Convention, but I'll make sure that there's a little warning. Too many or not, but it was the most snakes I've ever seen in one place in my entire life. Like, wow. So we just like walked around and like looked at snakes, and there's like so many. One of the interesting things that going to a show like that does is it makes you realize how pretty like snakes can be.
Oh yeah, there's some really pretty ones.
There are some beautiful snakes. I mean, like the coloration and stuff on them is like gorgeous. Because like whenever someone says the word snake to me, my first thought is like copperhead.
Browns, yeah.
Copperhead, snake, brown, copperhead. But then you go to a trade show like this where there are no venomous snakes, and you're not thinking about that at all, and you just see all sorts of little fellas that are like, they're yellow and red. Some look like candy canes. They're very pretty. I did not get to hold any. I did not. There were some places in there, I think, that were doing like photo type things where you could pay to hold like a big boy. But it's just a wild...
Like what, a Burmese python?
Probably. I don't know. They're like... It's just a weird thing to go into the state fairgrounds and then be like, do you want to buy this anaconda? And I'm like, no. And he says, you're sure they aren't venomous? I looked. There were no venomous snakes.
It was not a hot show.
There were a lot of milk snakes.
Yeah.
Like snakes that are not coral snakes, but cause my South Carolina-born mind to stare at. Because like I've talked about it before, but like in kindergarten we were taught about all the snakes. Like we had to know all the snakes. Because the venomous one that we had all 4 venomous snakes in South Carolina. So we learned the little rhyme. Red on yellow, kill a fellow. Red on black, you're okay, Jack.
That really only works for the southeastern U.S. for coral snakes. Because there are none that are opposite, but in other countries and parts of the world, that saying does not work.
I mean, if I see a snake in anywhere other than the U.S., I'm going to be on high alert. I don't need to learn about all the snakes of the world. I just need to learn about the snakes that are like literally in my backyard.
Did you see any hognoses?
Yes, there was actually.
Aren't they cute? They got their little.
There was one table or vendor that only did hognose snakes. So their whole thing was just hognose snakes. So yeah, there was quite a bit of those. There was some that were real big. Actually, so when I had got the tickets, you had to get the tickets online, and there was an address in the receipt of the tickets. It was like in the same place. Like you get the email and it's like, here's your ticket and your QR code, and then there's like an address. So I'm like, well, certainly that address is the location. So I picked up Haley and we put it in, and when we get there, we park, and there's someone walking up with a stroller and there's a dog in it. And they're ahead of us, and they talk to the security guy, and they're like, is this the dog show? And the security guy's like, yep, go on in. And I'm like,
You could have gone to a dog show?
Dogs famously are not snakes. I don't know a whole lot about dogs or snakes, but I do know that they are separate things, not the same. And then we're standing, and the fairgrounds are pretty big, and Haley's like, you should probably like look at the email again. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, it definitely says this building. So then she goes to the website of the event, and she's like, this is a different address. And I'm like, cool. It wasn't like we didn't have to drive somewhere else, but it was we had to do a walk, and it was hot that day. Oh, the reason I got to all this is that there's a flea market that happens on the weekends there.
Yeah.
And we didn't know about it, and when we showed up, we were like, oh my god, there's a flea market. So we actually got to walk through, like, the flea market. It was not great.
That was the impression I got looking online at it a few months ago.
It was... It's not great. I don't know at what point in our history that flea markets went from someone selling their stuff to...
Resellers?
Just resellers of, like, shampoo. But that was the saddest transformation of the flea market.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't go to a flea market to buy resold items. I go to a flea market to try and buy someone else's, like, belongings that they no longer want. It's fine. Anyway, we knew that we were at the right place because there was this guy coming out of the convention, and he had this massive snake. Like, the thing was like this big around. It was some sort of python, and it was like, it must have been at least 6 feet long, and he was just like carrying it, and he had the biggest smile on his face. So I guess I don't know if he bought it.
I don't know.
And was like, I'm gonna take this home. I don't know, but he was coming out, and I was like, yeah, okay, we're in the right spot now. Less dogs, more snakes. Correct. Did it. He was a happy snake man. He was. But yeah, the event was cool. The first thing that we saw actually was there was a lot of geckos. Mm-hmm. People like geckos, and they sell little hats for geckos. I don't know anything about geckos. I don't know how likely a gecko is to keep the hat on, but they sell little hats. So we saw like a little table, and it's like little tiny cowboy hats for geckos. It's true. There were enclosures and heat lamps big enough for Brandon. It's true. They're cute.
See, I would want a chameleon, but I hear they are not good starter pets if you have no experience with reptiles.
They're neat to look at, but that's how I feel about a lot of animals. There's a lot of animals that I'm like, this is neat to look at. I don't need to look at it every day. I don't need to take care of this. I will go occasionally to like a show or a zoo or something to experience the animal and be like, that's a neat thing.
Get your Brandon a heat lamp.
And then I will just ignore it. Ah, time for our gecko beans. Thank you, Chaz. Would Kepi like a reptilian brother?
He might eat it.
He would eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Like,
Maybe, yeah.
I guess I don't know that, but I suspect. There's a lot of, probably not that unusual. There are a lot of mice.
At the show?
At the show. There was quite a few areas where there were mice, and they were in, like, enclosures that didn't have a top, and there was little signs on the side that were like, please pet us. And I was like, oh, little mice. You can pet.
Did you pet them?
You can pet the little mice.
Did you pet them?
I did not personally pet the mice. But you could.
I'm sure they feel like a small Kepi.
Renee says, please pet us. We are dinner. There was...
You don't need to tell the story. No, you don't. You don't need to.
It's like saltwater taffy. Just like pushing them into a bag. I'll leave it at that. We had a subscription from the blue-haired cyborg. Welcome.
Welcome.
Glad you're here. Hey, it's Pikmin this afternoon. It's a good time.
I'm very excited about
to
Pikmin
play
this afternoon.
Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4. We're doing this game at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's in 3 hours. What are you doing in 3 hours? It could be any variety of things. But
I thought I might take a nap and a shower, and I need to go to the garden. But definitely Pikmin.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, we're gonna be doing this at 4. No, 3, 1.
1.
Sorry, there's a 4 here. 1 p.m. We generally play until about 4, depending on where the days.
Chess says, "Hey, it's Mouse Stream tomorrow." It
It is tomorrow. Tell your phone.
Hi, phone.
Tell your phone to remind you. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Mao is going to be continuing the painting that she started last week. So, that's exciting. Be sure to tune in for that. Mal is getting the painting. I actually have part 1 out on the VOD channel. So if you missed part 1 and you want to watch that, it's available for viewing.
I also want to say, regarding me, Redbubble's doing a 30% off sale this week for back to school.
That's very good.
Yeah, everything.
That's very good.
Yes.
What do they have to do? Is there a code?
There is no code.
There is no code.
There is no code.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's very good. Neat. Well, go to Malmerch.
Yes.
Malmerch.com.
Chaz has the link.
Yeah.
Or Fossix has the link. But yeah, 30% is not a... They normally do 20, so this is a big deal.
Yeah. That's a good... Yeah, how long does that last?
I believe it's all week.
Okay, but you're not entirely sure.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's a very steep discount that they don't normally do, so jump on that.
Yeah.
If you are interested.
It's going on today for sure. So if there's a banner at the top of the site, they'll tell you if it's going on or not. So if you're checking it later in the week, check for the banner.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I actually.
You want something?
Well, yeah. I'm like, well, wouldn't mind getting some. Maybe. I might get something for me.
Can you hand me the mug? Like, this is a product. I'm a big fan of these mugs because I like the.
You like
shape.
that it's.
Yeah, I like
this shape. See, I actually.
You prefer the cylinder mugs.
You wanna know why?
Why? Because the image is different?
No, I actually prefer it because I'm the one that loads the dishwasher.
Ah.
And I like them. I like the straight ones because they more evenly like.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the dumbest reason to prefer a product, but it's reasonable, I think. Not completely stupid.
What time is my stream tomorrow?
7 p.m.
7 Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to check out Mouse
I will be
stream.
painting.
Yeah, back in the studio,
Yes.
working, continuing from where you left off.
Yes.
You're making a bridge picture.
Mm-hmm.
Of several old ladies playing a bridge card game. Maybe I misunderstood.
That's why I painted a sky.
Gotta start somewhere. Okay, that is it for today. As a reminder, 1 p.m. Eastern, Pikmin.
4?
Tonight at... Sure, I'll advertise my friend's stream. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, Josh is playing more Earthbound, which I just enjoy watching.
Golden Corral vlog today?
Golden Corral vlog in about 1 minute. About a minute. I'm going to hold you for a minute until that comes out. So I have your attention for 1 minute. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Mao is doing
Painting stream.
a painting stream. And then trying to think if there's any other notable things. Oh!
Did y'all see my nails?
The other thing is I'm going to try very hard to do a Hades stream on Thursday. It's a little risky to announce that right now, but I'm trying to speak it into existence because I really want to, and I've been feeling pretty good about the progress I've been making on the vlog. Like I've been withholding the streams so I could try and get caught up on Hades nuts. Try to get caught up on things, and things are going well. So I really want to play the stupid video game. So I'm gonna try. I need to get a few things done in the next 2 days, but if I have my way,
You will.
I will, and I'll play it Thursday afternoon. Is it a Chaz approved activity? It is Chaz pending approval. It's a Chaz approved activity.
Provided you get your things
provided
done.
I get some stuff done, and that's, I can still do things if they're not Chaz approved, but Chaz disapproval is terrible. I hate the Chaz disapproval. All right, the vlog's out. the vlog's out. So head over there. It's a long boy, but it's good. Took a while to cut together. It's a nice one. Y'all go enjoy yourselves. And let's see, what dome am I gonna give you? Right after this alert. 37 months from Dark Moon Wolf 23. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good one. Retro Dome. All of the things that you grew up with. All of the things that are embedded into your memory from childhood are now old. And that's okay. Go watch the vlog. We will see you at 1 p.m. back here for Pikmin 4. See you then.